When you wake up in the morning, before you check your phone, before the world even gets a chance to tell you who you are, there is a moment where it's just you and that quiet voice inside. And for some of you, that voice has been whispering the same thing for years. Asterisk, you're not enough, you've failed too much, you don't have what it takes. Asterisk, and you've heard it so long, you started believing it, you started living by it, you started shaping your whole life around a version of yourself that isn't even real. That's why I'm telling you, with everything in me, if you don't change the way you see yourself, nothing in your life will ever change. You've been trying to elevate with a broken foundation. You've been trying to climb with a cracked belief system. You're fighting battles not because you're weak, but because you're carrying an identity that was built in a season designed to break you, not define you. Somewhere along the line, life happened, people doubted you, you made mistakes, you fell short. And instead of seeing those moments as chapters, you started seeing them as the whole story. You stopped dreaming big because you convinced yourself you weren't worthy. You started settling because you stopped seeing the value in your own reflection. And the painful truth is this: asterisk asterisk, your life will always rise or fall to the level of the image you hold of yourself. Asterisk asterisk, think about it. If you see yourself as average, you will accept average. If you see yourself as broken, you will act broken. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will push away every opportunity that tries to elevate you, not because you can't achieve it, but because your identity won't allow you to receive it. You can't outperform the limitations you mentally placed on your own life. You can't walk like a giant while believing you're still small. You can't conquer mountains when you see yourself as someone who belongs in the valley. Some of you are carrying names people gave you years ago: lazy, weak, slow, failure, disappointment, and you've repeated them so often that they became your truth. But hear me clearly, those names were never yours to keep. You don't have to own a label just because someone threw it at you. You don't have to live in a prison built by someone else's opinion. You don't have to keep wearing the identity created by trauma, rejection, loss, or moments when you simply didn't know any better. The world told you who you were, but the world didn't build you. The world didn't breathe life into you. The world didn't design your purpose, so the world doesn't get the final say. It's time to rewrite the story you tell yourself. It's time to stop speaking from your wounds and start speaking from your worth. You've survived things that should have broken you. You've made it through storms that would have drowned other people. You've grown through seasons that tried to bury you. And you're still here. That alone makes you powerful. That alone makes you capable. That alone makes you worthy of seeing yourself differently. Don't let the mirror reflect your past. Let it reveal your potential. Don't let your mistakes shape your identity. Let them shape your wisdom. Don't let fear decide who you are. Let courage rewrite your narrative. You are more than the moments that hurt you. You are more than the thoughts that limit you. You are more than the doubts that echo in your mind. And the moment you finally see that, truly see it, your entire life will start to shift. Your confidence changes. Your decisions change. Your habits change. Your direction changes. Everything starts aligning the moment you align the image you hold of yourself. You can't win with the old version of you. You can't step into greatness while seeing yourself as ordinary. You can't elevate your life while shrinking your identity. So today, make a decision. Asterisk asterisk, change the way you see yourself, and you will change the way your entire life unfolds. Asterisk asterisk, there comes a moment in your life when you have to stop living on the limit. That were handed to you. Some of you have been walking around with ceilings you didn't build, boundaries you didn't choose, and beliefs you never questioned. You've been measuring your worth by someone else's ruler, shrinking your potential to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. And the crazy part is, you don't even realize you're doing it anymore. You've been doing it so long it feels normal. But it's not normal. It's not who you are. And it's not who you were built to become. You've been borrowing limits from people who don't even believe in themselves. People who quit on their own dreams. People who never pushed past their comfort. People who only saw you through the lens of their insecurity. And because they couldn't imagine themselves doing something great, they couldn't imagine you doing it either. So they spoke small, they thought small, they dreamed small, and you adopted their smallness as your truth. But listen to me, it's dangerous to let someone with no vision decide how far your future will go. You've got to stop internalizing the voices that weren't meant to guide you. When someone tells you you can't do that, what they're really saying is, I don't believe I could do that. When someone says people like us don't make it, what they mean is, I never made it. You've been letting people project their fears, their failures, their limitations onto you like it's gospel. And the longer you live under those ceilings, the more you forget they weren't yours to begin with. You've got to understand something. Limits are borrowed until you return them, and it's time to return them. It's time to stop carrying beliefs that never belonged to you. It's time to stop letting others define what's realistic for your life. You can't let someone who never tried convince you that you shouldn't. You can't let someone who gave up tell you that perseverance doesn't work. You can't let someone who settled tell you that your dreams are unrealistic. If you're going to build a new identity, you need new input. You need voices that stretch you, not shrink you. You need energy that lifts you, not drains you. You need people who talk like the future matters, who think like possibility is real, who move like greatness is normal. But here's the part nobody tells you. When you finally stop borrowing their limits, some people won't like it. Because the moment you stop agreeing with their version of you, they lose control. The moment you stop fitting inside their box, you force them to confront the box they're still living in. When you start growing, you expose the parts of them that refuse to grow, and sometimes people would rather you stay small than deal with their own discomfort. But you can't dim your light just because someone else isn't ready to shine. You can't lower your standards because someone else refuses to raise theirs. You can't shrink your identity because someone else feels threatened by your expansion. You weren't designed to live according to someone else's fear. You weren't built to inherit someone else's limits. Your future requires a version of you that refuses to be boxed in, that refuses to be talked down, that refuses to be defined by people who never saw your worth. You were meant to break patterns, not repeat them. You were meant to elevate, not stay grounded. You were meant to rise, not remain where others stopped. And the moment you realize that, something powerful happens. You start making decisions based on where you're going, not where they stayed. You stop asking for permission to grow. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop explaining your dreams to people who don't have the capacity to understand them. You finally step into your own identity, your own limits, your own ceiling, your own vision, and that's when your life begins to expand in ways you never imagined. Because the truth is simple. You stop borrowing their limits, and suddenly you start discovering your own greatness. When you finally start seeing yourself differently, when you begin to believe you're capable of more, that new identity has to show up in the way you move. You can't claim you're built for greatness and then wake up every day living like the old you. You can't talk about elevation and still cling to the same habits that kept you grounded. Your identity isn't just a thought, it's a lifestyle. It's in what you prioritize, what you tolerate, what you commit to, and what you let go of. If you want to step into a new version of yourself, your habits must rise to match that version. Most people don't fail because they lack skill. They fail because their habits don't support the identity they're trying to build. They want confidence, but they practice hesitation. They want success, but they practice procrastination. They want discipline, but they practice excuses. And they wonder why nothing changes. But nothing changes because habits are the engine of identity. You can't say you're becoming stronger while living in weakness. You can't say you're focused while entertaining distractions. You can't say you're ready for elevation while holding on to behaviors that keep you stuck to the ground. When you decide who you are becoming, every day becomes a reflection of that choice. If you say you're committed, then commitment needs to show up in your schedule. If you say you're built for greatness, greatness needs to show up in your work ethic. If you say you're ready to transform, transformation needs to show up in your decisions. You don't wait until you feel motivated, you move because your identity demands movement. You act because the person you're becoming would never sit back and hope life gets better on its own. And this is the part that gets real. Building new habits isn't glamorous, it's not loud, it's not pretty. It's quiet, it's lonely, it's uncomfortable, it's choosing the work when nobody's watching, it's waking up early when nobody's cheering. It's staying disciplined when nobody's applauding. That's the part people avoid, because they want instant results without consistent effort. But the truth is, transformation is built in the unseen moments. When you choose discipline over comfort, when you choose progress over excuses, when you choose growth over old patterns. Your habits are the proof of who you believe you are. If you believe you're capable, you move like it. If you believe you're worthy, you show up like it. If you believe your life matters, you invest in it. Every small action becomes a vote for the identity you're building, and those votes add up. They stack. They accumulate. They begin to reshape your belief system, because nothing strengthens your identity like seeing yourself follow through. Discipline builds confidence, consistency builds momentum, sacrifice builds self-respect, and once you start respecting yourself, everything in your life changes. You start walking differently, you start speaking differently, you start making decisions that the old you would have never made. And little by little, your habits create distance between who you were and who you are becoming. That distance is where transformation lies. That distance is where elevation happens. That distance is where you realize you're not pretending to be the new you. You asterisk are asterisk the new you. So understand, your future isn't built on what you say you want. It's built on what you do daily. It's built on discipline that matches your destiny. It's built on habits aligned with the identity you're stepping into. Because if you want a life that looks different, you must develop habits that keep pulling you forward instead of dragging you back. And when you finally align your habits with your new identity, your future has no choice but to rise to your level. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of your excuses, on the other side of your fears, on the other side of everything you keep telling yourself you're not ready for. A version of you that is stronger, sharper, more focused, more disciplined, more intentional. A version of you that doesn't second, guess every step, that doesn't shrink when the pressure hits, that doesn't let the past dictate the future. And the only reason you haven't met that version yet is because you're still holding on to the parts of yourself that can't survive where you're going. Your future requires more from you than the old identity can deliver. You can't carry hesitation into a future that demands action. You can't carry insecurity into a future that demands confidence. You can't carry self-doubt into a future that requires boldness. There are levels in life that won't open until you become the person who belongs there. And some of you are frustrated not because you're unprepared, but because you're trying to access a future while clinging to an identity that was never built for elevation. You keep thinking your breakthrough is waiting on timing, when really it's waiting on you. You keep thinking your moment is coming, but your moment has been ready. You're the one who still needs to catch up. The door isn't locked. You're just not standing tall enough to reach the handle. Your future is not delayed. Your growth is. You don't get what you want. You get what you're prepared to carry. You don't walk into your next season with the mindset of your last one. The future you want has already been constructed, but you can only move into it when the version of you that belongs there finally steps forward. And I need you to understand this. Becoming that version of yourself is not a single decision. It's a daily choice. It's waking up every day and reminding yourself, I don't become who I was, I become who I'm called to be. It's refusing to act like the old you when the old you wants comfort, shortcuts, validation, or permission. It's choosing the uncomfortable truth that growth requires letting go of people who can't grow with you. Letting go of habits that drain you, letting go of fears that paralyze you, letting go of the identity that was shaped by old seasons, old pain, old environments. Some of you are standing in between two versions of yourself, the one you were conditioned to be and the one you were born to be. And the tension you feel right now, that's the pull of transformation. That's the stretch required for elevation. That's the discomfort that comes with shedding the version of you that can't handle the weight of your destiny. The future version of you doesn't hesitate. The future version of you doesn't negotiate with self-doubt. The future version of you doesn't look for shortcuts. The future version of you stands up, speaks up, shows up, and follows through. No matter how tired, no matter how intimidated, no matter how uncertain. That version of you moves with purpose because they know where they're going. They move with confidence because they understand who they are. They move with discipline because they know what's at stake. And if you want to meet that version, if you want to step into the life that's waiting for you, you have to start becoming them now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when things get easier, now. Because every day you delay becoming that version of yourself is another day your future stays on standby. Every day you settle for who you used to be is another day you postpone who you were meant to be. You owe it to your future to rise. You owe it to your calling to grow. You owe it to your purpose to elevate. And when you finally become the version of yourself that your future requires, everything that once felt out of reach will begin to reach for you.